My lords, it is a very great privilege to make my maiden and possibly only speech in your lordship's house, and I am extremely grateful to my noble friend Viscount Tenby for introducing this debate. It is perhaps ironic that the only reason I am able to speak today is because of the fact that my uncle, the 9th Duke of Grafton, who was also the 10th Earl of Arlington, died from injuries sustained in a crash which occurred in a high-speed car race in 1936 at the age of 21. I'm only too aware of the dangers of speed. However, the issue of speed should be taken in its correct context. While supporting the existing punishments for offenders, it is quite clear from the evidence which we have that driver education must be the principal way in which any government tackles the problem of road safety. It is also clear that enforcement is not the only way to get drivers to listen or heed speed limits with more understanding. If we accept that driver education is the best way of dealing with this problem, where to start? Well, new and young drivers are the obvious targets. The historical facts tell us that 1 in 3 male drivers between the ages of 17 and 20 have a crash within the first few years of passing their test. One in 3 of all crashes involve men under the age of 20. The latest statistics from the DETR casualty report from 1998 tell us that 429 drivers between the ages of 15 and 19 and 785 drivers between the ages of 20 and 29 were killed last year, a combined figure of 1,214 out of a total for all ages of 3,537. In other words, over 34% of all fatalities occurred in the 15 to 29 age group. Put another way, the most horrific and disturbing fact is that on average 3 young people die today, as they do every day as a result of road crashes in Great Britain. Young male drivers consistently overestimate their driving ability. Making the standard driving test harder to pass is the first step, with additional sections dealing with areas such as hazard perception, motorway driving, driving in the dark, and attitude. But besides, passing the driving test is the only start of further driving education. Some noble lords may be aware of the Pass Plus scheme, which was set up in 1995, backed by the government, the Driving Standards Agency, and some of the major insurers. It is designed to make newly qualified drivers become better drivers, but it suffers from one major drawback. It is voluntary, not compulsory. In my discussions with the most helpful road safety officer of Argyll and Bute Council, I learnt that less than 20 drivers had taken the Pass Plus course between January the 1st, 1998, and the end of August 1999, even though half the cost of the course could be claimed from Argyll and Bute Council on production of the Pass certificate. After the initial driving test has been passed, all new drivers should be required to continue their driving education with Pass Plus, not just those with the interest or money to do so. Every driver has to read the Highway Code. This excellent brochure is updated on a regular basis, but how many of us in your lordship's house have read the latest one? I suggest that the DVLC in Swansea is asked to investigate the possibility of issuing the Highway Code to drivers every 5 years on renewal of their car licence. The cost to be added or included in the annual licence fee. In 1997, the Pass Plus scheme offered for 2 months a new car as a prize. Why not make a car available every month with the draw included in the National Lottery programme on national television? Having a driving licence is not a right. It should be seen as a privilege, awarded after the necessary tuition and exams. Failure to get this message across will mean that our new drivers obtain little more than a licence to kill. It is not necessarily speed that kills, it is bad driving. You can be a bad and unsafe driver at 30 miles per hour. I thank your lordships for your forbearance and courtesy and apologise for my speech being longer than 75 words. I do hope that some constructive measures to improve driver education, which will highlight the dangers of speeding among other aspects, will result from this debate.
Well, my lords, first of all, it gives me great pleasure to congratulate the noble Baroness Lady Arlington on a really most interesting and thought-provoking speech, which started off with this unique story of her fight to succeed to her title. And what she also told me, and she's allowed me to share with the House, is that she's also very brave because her husband, who helped her prepare this maiden speech, died suddenly at the weekend. And I think she deserves the maximum congratulations for coming here tonight and sharing her this wonderful, sharing with us her thoughts.